Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Tom. Today I'll be giving everyone a little guide, a little recap on how to use FlowState and how to get the most out of the available tools. I hope that beginner users as well as more experienced users, everyone will find something that they perhaps didn't know already and learn something that they might be able to implement into their own creative journey on Leonardo AI. For those of you who are brand new, flow state is a mode completely separate from regular image generation. Let me just make sure I don't lose my prompt. I'll go to normal mode just to see where we are normally. So if we're in Leonardo's normal image generation, we're in classic mode. And we can switch to flow state mode, just like so. Layout, what we have on screen, type in your prompt, just like we do in the usual mode, and we can hit generate. On the left, we have a lot of settings. Let's just first hit generate to see what happens if I do nothing with those on the left. As you can see, the mode of flow state is quite a lot quicker in generating than regular classic mode. It's a very good feature to see your images very quickly to know if you're doing something right, if you're doing something wrong. And because there are a lot of available settings to choose from, it's a good tool for getting inspiration, for brainstorming different styles, different colors, lightings, angles, etc. Let's take a quick look at the tools, or the settings rather, on the left. We have 4 different style categories. We have the vibe, which has a lot of different subcategories. We have lighting, the shot type, and the color theme. Below those 4, we can select the image dimensions, just like in regular mode. We can allow the AI to enhance our prompt, which is recommended in flow state if you ask me. I'll tell you that later more specifically. Private versus public mode, don't worry about that. And scroll to generate. Quick explanation on that one. Starting tomorrow, starting in March, every image in flow state will cost 1 token. So every image that appears on the screen will subtract 1 token from your budget. It's not doing that yet because it's not March yet. But starting tomorrow, every image we see here, you can see I'm scrolling through these very fast. I'm losing 4 tokens per row of images. If you're worried that you're going to blow through your whole budget like that, let's click scroll to generate off. Show you the difference when I hit generate now. I only clicked the scroll to generate button off, and as you see, it generated 8 images, or it's taking some time with 3 of them, but now I have to click a button to generate more. Handy feature for users who are very scroll happy. Let's turn that back on and go back into normal generation. Every image in this view is comprised of a mix of different styles here. If we go on the first image, for example, hover over more like this, you can see this image has randomly chosen hard light from the lighting and complementary from the color theme. This image down here, more like this, has chosen only the shot type in motion. One more, this one over here has chosen the vibe sketch and the shot type in motion. There may be a pattern behind it, I haven't discovered it yet, but basically the AI randomly mixes these different styles to create images. And if you see a style you like, you can see what it has. So let's just pick one that I do like to do the next step. This one's pretty cool with the neon. We can see this one's light art and cool tones. If I click on more like this, currently I have 4 automatics, meaning all styles available to choose from. If I click on more like this now, it's going to lock in these 2 that it chose. You see it's turned off vibe because the selected image didn't have one. It turned off shots type, but it did lock in light art and cool tones. And now all the images here have those 2 settings in them. You can compare that to style reference in image guidance, where you give it an image that you liked and you say generate images more like that one. So now all the images I have the same 4 styles, whereas before we had random ones. The next step in this chain that we're formulating here is because they have prompt enhance on. Now, if I hover over more like this, every image has a new enhanced prompt. They're all different. So again, I look in this selection of images, I search for one I like. Doesn't particularly matter which one, I'm just looking for one that's spelled correctly. Let's say, for example, this one, if I like this, I'm not going to read out the whole prompt, but more like this, and now my prompt has been replaced with the prompt that the AI generated on that particular image. So now, it's like you've chosen a content reference, whereas step 1 was style reference, now it's content reference. A handy way of comparing it. All the images are basically the birds looking in the same direction, the text is more or less in the same place. Now, when we hover over more like this, there's no longer a prompt to choose from, there's no longer a style to choose from, they're all finalized. The last step will just be very minor differences. So again, I look for the one I like most. This one's fine. We see here, create images similar to this one, more like this. We're in the fourth chain, and now we see there's extremely small differences. Whereas before we chose the whole style, then we chose the whole shapes, angles, positioning in the image. Now we're selecting just very minor differences. So where the text, for example, has different colors, some of them the spelling is wrong or right. The birds very, very similar. Very little change happens in the last link in your chain here, in your flow. Here I can just find the image that most looks like the one I have in my mind, and save it. That's how to get to a chain of 4 links in flow state. Let's start over with a different prompt. Another thing to say about flow state is it is very good at text, as we see here. The text is spelled pretty accurately in every single image. In fact, let's just remove this for a sec. I'm going to start again from fresh with all 4 styles on automatic, prompt enhance on. Let's imagine I want to make a funny image for one of the users on our Discord, who happens to be in chat right now. Hi there, Tanith. Oh, perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better coincidence. So in here, I'm not specifying a particular style in any way, shape or form. I'm just asking for a red panda pointing at a black bunny and a speech bubble saying, look at Tanith with a purple background. I've not said anime style or photorealistic style. So there's lots of different options in here and angles and all kinds of combinations. The good thing about flow state is it teaches you the keywords to more accurately get what you want. So the first image that I got, I very much like that. I can see it's got the flat vibe. So what I can do now, instead of continuing the chain, I can ask for a simple flat illustration. And if I hit generate now, the image is going to look more or less like that. You see we're getting a lot of more consistent style. The good thing versus locking in flat here is now I can have a different vibe on top of the flat that I already have in the prompt. You could have just gone flat in and then hit generate. But what I've done is I've integrated it into my prompt and given the AI the option to add another one on top. Now I think I've said about pretty much everything that was needed to be said for a short guide. So if you're watching this short guide on YouTube after the fact, make sure to join our Discord server. There will be a lot of more banter and generating after this recording is done. There might be recorded VODs to view of that afterwards. But for now, in this short guide for YouTube, thank you for watching and see you on the server. Bye guys.